Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local in Arizona. Enchiladas, barbacoa, and your choice of tacos. Those are just some of the featured items that you will have at Salt and Lime Modern Mexican Grill. We have Sandra Van Deraa with us. She is the owner. 3 locations in the valley, I say, with that Arcadia one loading. Well, I've been watching that Arcadia one, Sandra. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, tell me about, first of all, I guess we'll start with Arcadia because that's in my neighborhood, and I've been circling that little area. You know, when I first moved back home, it was really special to get a place here, and I got a little apartment, and I went to Wally's for a skillet. So that little neighborhood right there at 44th Street in Camelback has a special place in my heart. What's happening at your Arcadia location? What's going on?
Well, you know, it's been 2 years in the making, so it's been a little bit of a challenge, but you know, it's been fine. It's we're about right in the corner. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We're hoping to open by the end of August, Labor Day being the last day. But it's just been, you know, it's been challenging, but I learned a lot of growth. But again, all good things.
Was this the first time moving into a building like that and doing a build out?
Yes. So there's a thing called an industry called first gen and second gen. Second gen is when you walk into a restaurant that's already built out and you pretty much just flip it to look your brand.
Right.
You know, you have maybe change a couple of things of equipment, you know, chairs, tables, but you have the bar, you have the kitchen, everything set. It was a restaurant originally, but it was a pizza bar, excuse me.
Yeah, it was
Streets of New York.
Yeah, Streets of New York.
But it was there for 30 years.
Oh my.
So, and many things were grandfather claused in, you know, with no longer health code, you know, allowed.
You know, things changed.
Things changed, of course. So we had to, and it's only, and I say only, beautiful little spot, 1,500 square feet, 1,550, I believe. And we had to get the whole thing. And so that made it first gen instead of second gen.
Oh.
So we basically built a whole new restaurant. But with delays, you know, and typical delays in the industry with, you know, permits from the cities. And even though the city's been great, but, you know, there's how many restaurants opening and I don't know how many staff they have on hand. But those were delayed. You know, questions with the landlord, or we're moving things that were originally in the restaurant that are no longer legal by health code. Had to move out with a parking lot. So it was just all of these things, you know. So, and then the holidays. And so it's been challenging. But again, it's going to be worth it.
Yes,
it's
it
going
will.
To,
it
but
will
that
be.
little spot, you know, I live in a bubble by my original location, the OG, just because I just always live 5 minutes from there. So driving to Arcadia, I call it my 44th location, regularly. I'm like, okay, I'm getting to know the area.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that live in the area. My youngest daughter, half her friends live in the area,
Really?
and she's always like, Mom, they're waiting. I go, I'm waiting too, sweetheart.
Aw. Well, isn't that exciting knowing that people just can't wait to have you open there?
Yes, exactly. I was there the other day standing behind the fence before I took the fence down, and these 2 ladies were walking by, and this one lady goes, that coming soon sign's been there forever.
Oh, snap. What did you say? I wonder what they're doing in there.
And I heard it. So I go, they couldn't see me. I go, but they can hear me. I go, yes, it has been. I go, almost there. And I popped my head around the window, and they were like embarrassed but funny.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, they were sitting at Wally's, in fact, for lunch. And
really?
I walked in there with my employee, and we sat down next to them, and I started talking to the ladies, you know, and they were like, I think they were embarrassed, but I go, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
It's true. You're like,
It's
I
true.
feel it, girl.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm sure you've learned a lot during that process, and we look forward to you opening it. And I'm just thinking about the view that the people at Global Ambassador Rooftop will have, looking right at Wally's, looking right at Salt and Lime. And I'm not sure they have, like, a Mexican fair over at Global.
No, they don't.
They might have to cross that street.
Yeah, they will. I mean, we have a little golf cart, 6-seater golf cart, all Salt and Limed out, that we're happy to go there, pick them up, and bring them across the street.
Stop.
Yeah, we do.
Now I'm already envisioning that you're probably going to deck it out for Christmas time.
Well, we usually do for my Shea location because of the Feliz Navidad Cantina we have every year there. But that's the OG. She'll always be the Christmas bar. But we will definitely, you know, do some decorating of the golf cart.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are excited about that. You know, that we're the only Mexican in the area. Unfortunately, 2 other restaurants closed in the last few months that were kind of nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm thinking of Crujiente.
and Santos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know, I mean, unfortunate for them, but
Yeah.
maybe a good thing for me. And I don't. You
Yes,
know,
yes, never.
That sounds selfish, but I don't mean it that way.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, it just happens to be timing, and we
Timing.
wish everyone well.
No, of
We
course,
always
of
do.
course, yeah.
So let's back up for the people. The original location of Salt and Lime is where? Because we have 3 locations around the valley.
94th and Shea, just east of the 101, heading towards Fountain Hills. And that's been there since 2014. Yeah.
And then the second location?
Second location, I opened in Cave Creek in January of this year on Tenement Dynamite.
Now, did you have that kind of construction build out with that second location?
No, that was basically what I hope to do in the future. You know, lipstick on a pig, and I don't mean that negative. You know, just walked in and just made it, painted it, brought in a salt and lime vibe, flair, and you know. But it was easier transition, and that's what we thought 44th was going to be. But that's okay again. But yeah, so that one wasn't not even in the plans. She just kind of fell in my lap in October. So I was like, please, would you be interested in taking this location?
Oh, wow.
And I thought, you know what? I need a distraction from the 44th location right now.
So in the middle of a massive build out, that's kind of giving you a little hard time. You decided to open a new restaurant.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't like things easy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you said that to me before we started this podcast, that you like things the hard way. Let's back up and learn a little bit about you, because did you grow up in Arizona? Where you're from? Tell me about your story.
I'm originally from San Luis Rio Colorado, Sonora, Mexico, right across the border from Yuma. But I've been in the States since I was 5, and I won't say how old I am now, but obviously a long time. And grew up in Yuma. Spent my entire life there, a little bit in California, a little bit in Alabama when my ex was in the military. Obviously, Yuma's a big Marine Corps town, so most of us girls into marrying a Marine at one point. But grew up in Yuma, like I said, and Kofa King, not a Yuma criminal, and moved here in 2009 with my youngest daughter. And she started Chaparral High School as a cheerleader, and I was actually doing mortgage lending at the time when I moved here. And if everybody got the date, it wasn't the best time to be in the mortgage industry, especially new and in a new city. So I decided to get a job obviously in a restaurant where you can make quick money each evening, each shift, so that I can support us and her cheer habit, and her chaparral, and so that until my business built up. But I never left it. I just kept working in the restaurant business, and even though I was doing well in the mortgage industry, I just kept working. In serving, bartending, and then Salt and Lime accidentally fell in my lap. The original owner offered me a general manager position back in 2016 without even, I didn't even apply for it.
Were you working there at the time?
I knew him as a friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were working somewhere else?
I was working somewhere else, still doing mortgage lending and working somewhere else, and but I just knew him as a friend.
Oh, wow.
And he just one day offered me, he asked if I knew him looking for a job. Or maybe you, Sandra. And I go, I'll ask around. I'll keep my ears open, And I hung up the phone. Then I went and told my friend, I go, I think he just offered me a job.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for a couple hours and I went, why not? Why not? And that's where my whole life changed.
Did you leave mortgage behind then?
1,000%.
But he probably saw you as someone who, I imagine he dined in restaurants where you were working.
He never did.
No.
He never did. He just liked my synergy, I guess, and my craziness, because there's a lot of that.
And what do you mean by craziness?
I mean,
probably you don't sit still.
I don't sit still.
Okay.
You've seen pictures of what I've done to the restaurant at my original
at holidays.
Yeah, in holidays. So I think outside the box.
I say festive.
Festive. I treat the restaurant more as an event venue than just a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing I ever did. I always, I have an accounting background, so I've always worn 15 hats. I was, an accountant for, companies and controllers back in Yuma. But I always did all the events for them. I was Miss Social Butterfly, out and about doing marketing. I was always doing charity work, and I've always been all over the place.
Yeah.
But
so he knew you had a lot of energy.
Right.
You had the people skills, and then you knew how to handle the books too.
The books.
So that's a very rare combination.
It is.
Yeah.
And I brought. I say now I put all 15 hats under one roof versus like I used to be spread out thin everywhere. So I'm just not spread out thin under my own roof.
So was it easier to then have one job?
I think so. I mean, because it's all under
one roof.
I keep saying one roof. Yeah. Before, I was volunteering over here at this place, and then I was doing, coaching cheer at this place, and I was doing events for this place, and but that's always been my passion. And like I said, I just got to bring it all into one house, and I love that. I love that.
And then it wasn't much long after that your friend came to you again and said what?
Sandra, if I ever decide to sell, will you write to purchase this restaurant? And I go, sure, not thinking it was going to be right around the corner. I thought, 10 years, whenever. He was very happy with how I was running it. Oh. This was like really 2018. I had been there 2 years. And then, our favorite year, 2020, happened, and he goes, will you buy this now?
In 2020?
Yeah.
After the pandemic started?
During the middle of it.
Oh, my God.
Which, to me, that didn't bother me. I
Really?
actually think we made our restaurant better because of the pandemic.
Tell me.
Well, we got really good at doing to-goes. And my staff, they're amazing. And this is where I get extremely emotional. I have staff that's been with me. I have one, he's the OG before I started there. He's my general manager at Shea location now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have two that's been there 10 years with me, another 3 or 4 that's been 7, 8 years, 5, 6. I have some that go to college, come back during spring break, Christmas, summer. So I would say they like my crazy because they come back. And I've had a couple that went elsewhere after a year, like, can I come back to work for you?
Yeah.
So there's this, we have this culture of family. And during the pandemic, when we just turned that restaurant into to-goes immediately, I went and did my Cinco de Mayo decor on the day after St. Patty's Day when they closed us down. I go, let's go to storage, get all Cinco de Mayo decor, let's make this place welcoming, even though they couldn't come in. But people would stand at the door and they would just like feel the happiness, the fun. And my staff was amazing. They decided amongst themselves to pull all their tips. And just like if you worked 2 hours that day or 10 hours that day doing just to-goes, that's all we were doing, obviously.
Yeah.
They decided to we'll divide our tips between all of us who worked that day, which is like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And we just had so much fun doing the to-goes. Then, of course, we were able to sell margaritas to go.
No, yeah.
And that was amazing. That was amazing.
They're still available. Can you still do
I
that?
actually have the license to do it legally.
really?
I mean, it was legally
Yes,
then
yes, yes.
until it was not. You
Yeah.
know? And then the Arizona liquor board decided to make it
Yes.
an additional license. So I actually have the license for all 3 locations.
Oh, my gosh.
So I sell our 2 frozen and our rocks to go in 32-ounce little like milk jugs
Do people still buy them?
all the
to go?
time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I mean, you kind of think, well, I could go to Circle K and buy something that's made by some corporate thing. Why can't I go to our local restaurant and buy something to go?
Right. It's fresh. They're made fresh, obviously.
Right.
And I mean, most people cannot make a good margarita at home, and especially a frozen,
Right.
obviously. We could all make a, Jack and Coke, whatever at home, but
Yeah.
not that. So, and they're very popular. So, when our guests are leaving the tables, would you like dessert or maybe margaritas to go?
Oh my God, hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have to do it because when do you get that offer?
Right.
Okay, well, then you realize, oh, this is convenient.
And I've been told by guests that they freeze well.
Oh,
The frozen might come out a little slushy, but it's still there.
yeah.
It's still
oh my
drink.
God. A hot tip right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
How fun.
Yeah.
And then we have to talk about, we have some photos. Let's pull up some pictures that we have. So if you're listening, we're going to describe them to you. If you're watching, go ahead and enjoy. This looks to me kind of like a tasting menu.
It does, and I'm testing myself to see what
What do we
think-
have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tacos.
Right. We have 15 on the menu.
Wow.
They're all a la carte. Sold
How
a la
much do they
carte.
run?
$7, $8, $9, they're big.
Yeah.
I mean, like one
You can
taco is enough for a lady.
Yeah.
I mean, a football player, teenager, he probably could eat all 6,
Oh.
but he would be full,
yes,
extremely full.
That's after practice.
After
grueling practice.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But I think
Yeah. What do you think there? What's
okay,
on the
that's-
left end?
That's my pork belly.
Mm-hmm.
The left. That is my pollo asado.
Yum.
That's my avocado. We have avocado taco.
Uh-huh.
And then that's my chicken tinga,
Yum.
my carne asada.
Ooh.
Oh, no, actually, that's carnitas. Sorry, carnitas. And then barbacoa on the very far right.
I always record these podcasts before I have lunch, which is like a bad idea. I don't know why I do that to myself. But everything looks amazing. What's your pick of the litter right here?
I like all our tacos. I think I would go, if I was going to order right now, I would go with the pollo asado.
Yeah, that looks delicious.
Yeah.
It's talking to me too.
Yeah. We have it. We have one on the menu. It's called Vampiro.
Uh-huh. What is that?
It's vampire taco, basically,
Uh-huh.
but it's double. So it's a quesadilla. So 2 corn tortillas, cheese in the middle, and jalapenos. If you don't want the jalapenos, because it's a little too spicy, you can have it without.
Okay.
And then carne asada. So it's a taco. So
Yum.
it's basically taco, quesadilla taco.
Oh.
And it's got vampiro and or vampire. You
Yeah.
can't say. And it's my favorite.
It is okay. So
Yeah.
that's a must order.
It's a must order.
The enchiladas are good too.
Very good. Our green chicken enchiladas are my favorite. I lean more green than the red sauces, but the red sauces is amazing. I mean, everybody has a preference, and we have it for both for what you like.
Yeah. And what about the barbacoa?
That is our best selling. I mean,
Is that a taco?
It's a protein. It's a meat.
Okay,
It's pulled,
Meat.
Yeah, it's meat.
Uh-huh.
It's a taco right there.
Uh-huh.
But so the barbacoa is, we have it as a stew, an entree. Then we serve it in a burrito. We serve it in enchiladas. We serve it in tacos.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I also pulled another photo. of the queso.
That's my green chili
What
pork
is this?
skillet.
Oh, pork skillet?
Yeah. So we have a green chili pork entree, and then with beans and rice on the sides, delicious. But I prefer the skillet. I like cheese on top, and I like the sizzling
Yes.
meat. And so that's a meal for me.
That looks like, is that where, when they say if you order fajitas to the table, you just like attention because it's sizzling and smoking. Is this something that comes to the table smoking and stuff?
It doesn't smoke, but
people are looking.
But people are looking at it for sure, for sure.
Oh,
and ever since this picture, honestly, we saw it on social media and the cheese.
Yes, the cheese pole.
Yeah,
does
exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
You're just like, oh my gosh, I could just take a swim in that right there.
Yep.
We kind of touched on how you get festive at the holidays. You guys went viral here in the Valley. I have stood outside your Shea location and could not get in, Miss Sandra. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'll have to make reservations far in advance next time. Because tell me what you guys do for Christmas, how this started, and we have a picture of the Grinch.
We have the Grinch. My Mitchell, that's actually an employee.
Who is that?
It's Mitch, one of my employees. He after 8 years, he just left me for his corporate world job that he wanted, but I'm dangling the carrot. He's going to come be my Grinch every year until he can't.
Yes, exactly.
So it all started in my head. 2018, I was in Chicago in December. Bigger cities are known for their pop-up bars, and we were down in Chicago, and we went to Santa Babies, and then we went to Frosty's. All these Christmas bars. Like, oh my, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I go one day maybe. Obviously, at that point in time, I wasn't the owner of the restaurant, but I pretty much ran it like I was the owner, so I could do much. I did almost everything I wanted, and but that was an expensive move,
Yes, I imagine.
And so I never attempted to do it, but it was always in the back of my mind. Well, let's talk about good old year 2020. I'm at the Steinmart in Shea 101. That was Steinmart that was closing down, I believe.
I remember
right there.
Steinmart, yeah.
I've never been in there. I walk in there. Just to be nosy.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday afternoon right around Halloween, before Halloween, and I look, and I wish I had pictures of that, but I look and I see this back corner of the store, these huge, tall, like 6-foot red cones, small, like 4-foot red cones, little cones, bunch of reefs, all 50% off, and I look at the cones, and I look at my guy, and I look at the cones, and he goes, "You're going to do it?" I go, "Yeah, I'm going to do it.
It's happening.
We have to do it." And it makes me emotional because it was like such a hard time for many people. I wanted the restaurant to continue looking festive and being festive. Like I said, I had it all decked out Cinco de Mayo from the moment that we had to shut down. And once we opened to the public, every other table, I kept it decorated. So I called a friend of mine who does interior design. She would decorate my restaurants with beautiful wreaths, very subtly and professionally, And I took a picture of the cone and sent it to her. She's like, "What are you thinking?"
She looks at her phone. Yeah. Sandra's up to something.
Yep, exactly what she said. So she met with me the next day, and she goes, "Love it." And I look back now to the very first year we did it, 2020. Poor little restaurant.
Oh, stop.
It's so. I have to show you. You could still see the ceilings. It was just like decor here and there, but it was the start of a beautiful beginning.
Yeah.
And each year I've added more and more and more to what we have now. And yes, 3-hour waits.
Yeah.
3-hour waits.
Do you take reservations or how do you get in there?
We do. So I've had to make the adjustments every year. You learn as you grow. You learn from experience, people do get frustrated and angry. They have to wait. Yeah. And I just have to remind people, I'm always out there that, not the only ones that saw us on the news or TikTok or, we have people coming from Casa Grande. We have people because they saw us on the news.
Gosh. Well,
yeah. And so
Channel 3, hopefully.
Absolutely. Kylie.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Got the Kylie Cruz. Shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
The other Yuma.
Yuma girl. And but so I've made the adjustments. I'm forcing now. I've added space, so I've added additional seating into the Shea location.
Okay.
And that helped. I really strictly am enforcing the whole 90-minute experience.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it
Which
is an
people
experience.
are used to now. I think people are used to that.
Some.
Oh, really?
Some. But this is. You're not. Yes, you must love my food, but you're really not coming for my food during this time. You're coming for the decor.
What is that thing I'm ordering? The pork?
The green chili pork skillet.
Okay, so I'm ordering that, and then I'm going to be enjoying your decor.
Yes. But then you're going to fall in love with our food and continue coming back.
Yes.
And there's happened. I had a couple years ago out front decorating, and these two older ladies were so sweet. Like, we came here last year. You saw you in the news. Now we came here all the time, so we love your food. So it's a win-win and all the way around.
Yes.
But it is with 2 or 3 hour waits. Again, with the expansion and the time limits that we inserted last year, the wait time's gotten better. So we're getting better at the wait. At the end of the day, though, it is extremely popular. It is extremely busy. So we leave up the decor till January.
Oh, wow.
So that if you don't get to come in during December, you can still kind of see Christmas. And I know people think, well, it's not Christmas. Your 4-year-old won't know.
Yeah,
you know,
they'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, they'll still enjoy it.
It's the season.
It's the season. And that's the thing. People always ask, what else do you decorate for? Nothing.
That's it.
Christmas is a season.
Yeah.
You know, and she starts, we start basically by Thanksgiving, she's open. Takes a month to decorate.
Well, I'm surprised it's just a month because this is in front of you're not even inside yet from this picture.
No, you're
and
not.
you can see the layers that you have outside.
And I have a team that does it for me now, and I mean, we're literally had meetings last week about this.
Yeah. So when's it going up?
Oh, we start right 1st of November, so we start decorating.
When do we start making our reservations?
I don't take reservations until November. Exactly. I have people email me now, calling, can we make reservations? I go, nothing for Feliz Navidad Cantina until November 1st, just because I want to be
ready.
You know. But it's like I said, it's been great. It's been a blessing, and this is the 5th Christmas, and she keeps growing. My storage shed, I have to go to get another one.
Well, I when I went and we didn't have reservations, we were just popping by and we knew what was going to happen. But I said, "Can I just pop my head in?" And I took a little peek and I said, "Good for them, you know, good for them." And I'm probably the response that the hostess wasn't used to.
I
but
know,
I'm just always excited to
yeah.
see people succeed and see like
fun.
the
It's fun.
activity around it.
Yeah, it's definitely been something that I never thought. You know, it was just like I said.
Yeah.
I'm in Chicago one Christmas, December, and I went,
Yeah.
You know?
I think I ended up at Ernie's that night. Just up the street and still in the Chaparral neighborhood, you know,
right across the
CHS.
street. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, that must be so exciting. And that must have been really interesting just to see the outpouring of attention and then also to go viral. What did that feel like? What did that look like? How did you know, oh my gosh, this thing is getting traction online?
Oh, just by the people standing outside the door, you know, because again, I spend most of my time outside in the front, you know, talking to guests and helping my hostesses because they are, you know, most of them they're teenagers, and so you know, I always tell you, young ladies, yes, ma'am, no, sir, but this is your bedroom, and you're not letting your little brother in without your permission, right? I go, there's a system for a reason to make it smooth process and enjoyable experience for all our guests. So I'm always out there talking to people just to, you know.
Yeah,
appease them, and when they hear the story and they understand, they go, "Oh, okay, we get it," you know. But I just we came because we saw you on TikTok. We came because I go, thank you. I mean, like I said, I have a daughter that lives in LA. She sends me stuff. People are like, "Is this your mom's restaurant?" And, you know, if people send her, she has friends in New York and stuff like that. That will ask her that. So it's
cool.
It's very cool. It's very cool, you know. But the stars are my employees, the staff, because they work so hard during this time. It's nonstop. The kitchen is amazing. We have a small little kitchen at the Shea location. And I mean, back years past when we'd have a big Cinco de Mayo event, we'd limit the menu just not to overburden the kitchen.
Wow.
And my kitchen manager told me like 3 years ago, Sandra, we do Christmas, we do 35 days of Cinco de Mayo on steroids. Which is true. Yeah. So I go, we can handle Cinco de Mayo. You know, so we don't limit menu ever for anything anymore.
Okay. Wow.
Just because he goes, they can handle it. So I'm very proud of the front of house staff and the back of house staff because they handle it. I'm just like walking around and just, you know, helping them wherever I can.
One thing that I feel like our people forget that our local businesses owners do is train up our youth, because a lot of those first jobs are maybe a hostess at a restaurant or working at a local business.
Yeah.
Tell me about kind of that process of working with, you know, teaching someone their first job and how to behave in the workplace and just how things are different in this space.
You know, it's fun. I think it goes back to, and they always tease me because I was a cheer coach.
No, you were.
At Cibola High School, one of the high schools in Yuma. My daughter was one of my cheerleaders. So I go, if I can handle 25 teenage girls from age of 14 to 18, I can handle anyone.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah, I got this. So, but I am very, they tease me. They call me like a momager.
Momager?
I'm a momager. So I'm kind of momish, you know, because I care.
Yes.
And I hope that doesn't change as I grow. Because I want all my locations to know me that way with, you know. But I'm just, you know, there. I joke with them. I speak with them like they're, at my level, but there is an authority. There's a chain of command, whatever. But I have one young man. I mean, example, he started there at 17 as a busser. Now he's one of my assistant managers. You know, he's 26 now. You know, but just the growth in him, the trust in me. He left me because he thought he could do better. He called me back. He said, "Text me. You told me I'd be back. Can I come back?" You know, and I go, "Of course, babe.
Yeah,
of course.
come on home.
Come on home." You know, so it is fun. I mean, you know, it's just I mean, not everyone's for everyone. Not everyone's for every employer, employee. You know, so I always tell my staff, if you're not happy here, that's fine. You know, we're not this restaurant. Our management style is not for you, for everybody, and vice versa.
No.
But when you're here, you will be happy here. You know, because I do treat you as well. I mean, I am strict though. You know, I have my isms, but I think every employer has their isms. Every parent has their isms. You know,
every coach.
You know,
and you think about coaching a cheerleading team. It's a team. It takes dedication. All people need to be in formation. You have to be know the routine.
Yeah, and that's what I say with my managers. We're not dictating. We're not ordering. We're coaching, and that's exactly how I say it to them. You know, because I don't like to be micromanaged. I don't micromanage. I don't like to be spoken down to, and I don't expect my employees to be spoken down to. You know. And so I think I've done a good job. I'm sure sometimes we have our days because some days we all irritate each other. You know?
I mean,
that's life.
Yeah,
and especially during Christmas when
eat
it's
a little more
busy.
queso.
Yeah, exactly.
A queso, quiet me up real fast.
And if you're older and out after work, go have a margarita somewhere.
Yes, take it to go.
Here's
a jug. You are a real piece today.
Yeah.
Take this to go.
Exactly.
Come back tomorrow with a smile on your face.
Yep.
Oh, how fun. What has been kind of an interesting, and I know you mentioned the build out with Arcadia, but an interesting challenge in the food space, especially as things have changed a lot in Phoenix and Scottsdale. We have a lot of big names coming into town.
Yeah, it is. You know, like I said, I didn't grow up in the industry. This was never it was never in my focus. I did it later in life by accident, and I'm loving it. There's so much that I need to learn. I'm still learning. You know, I'm not one of those big brands like we know, like my neighbor across the street at Arcadia. You know, I mean, Fox Concepts. He's, you know, he has. I mean, they're doing amazing. I love Buck and Ryder. I mean, I look up to all those restaurants, and you know, I'm just this one little girl down here trying to do the best she can. But it's, you know, to have 3 is like, wow. You know, it's a lot. But I just always like doing research and reading and visiting. I go out to eat every single day.
Oh, do you? Where do you go? Where have you been recently?
Everywhere. Well, yesterday I actually cheated and went right across the street from my office because I had quick stuff. But
which was where?
It's the Tavern Grill right across.
Tavern Grill?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I'm at Buck and Ryder at least weekly, but
really?
I love that.
Voodoo rice? What do you love there?
With the voodoo rice, and I love my sushi. I love the sushi roll and
crab
ceviche.
cake.
And I love it all. I love it all.
I like the crab cake and the burger there.
But any new restaurant, you know, that's around, we always go. I mean, all over. I don't get much out of like this area or Scottsdale just because of my office location during the day. Because I'm at the office all day long, lunch out every day, typically, and then, you know, popping in the restaurants in the evenings.
Right.
So it's always a lot of moving parts. But I just like to look and see and research, and you know, and I'm always asking questions, and you know, I'm just, you know, I always every day do this that that we can continue and keep growing.
Yeah. So how much do you rely on your faith and your passion to pursue this?
Well, definitely a passionate person. That's just, I've been
That's just kind of like your baseline.
Yeah. You know, I'm very passionate in a positive and a negative way. You can see my passion if I'm upset about something. But it's just passion. You know, I'm just like, you know, I just keep going. I think, I'm teary-eyed. You know, I think, you know, coming and the work I think my mom forced my brother on when we were little, coming from, you know, Mexico. She came, you know, 25 years old, 24 years old, but a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. And she did the whole work in the fields, learned English, you know, just then worked in a diner. Like, remember the TV show Alice? My mom's name's Alicia. She worked in a diner just like that in Northern California. So all that. And then she, you know, was learning English. And then she went to night school and got her county. So she just never stopped working. So I never knew not how to work.
Yeah.
And not to be passionate about something, you know. But, and I have a lot of energy. So I don't know, you know, because I don't know if I'm doing everything right, but I'm trying, you know. And if something's not looking like it should, I pivot.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you, as the owner of 3, who helps you self-correct, or are you doing that, or do you?
I'm doing that right now, but eventually, when 44th gets open, and if I get suckered into another one.
Oh, it feels like more are coming.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have 3,
Why not 5?
why not 5?
You don't sleep, do you?
I don't sleep.
So where does this energy come from? Where can I get some of this?
Well, it's DNA.
Yeah.
It's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my youngest daughter would call me at 1 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes she's like, "Mom, you didn't answer. What were you doing asleep? You're never asleep at that time." I go, "Well, I am getting older, kiddo."
At 1, I will rest.
Yeah. But it's just DNA.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited about it. Excited about the concept. Excited about the brand. Excited about my employees.
Yeah.
They're the most important thing.
Yeah.
And giving them longevity, giving them a home, giving them, a future.
Mm-hmm.
And so you asked who helped manage it. Right now it's me going over all 3. I'm going to get help. Eventually there's going to be someone, he or she, that'll be my operations that helping me touch all those 3 restaurants.
Right, because you can't be everywhere.
I can't be everywhere at once, and I'm always going to be a very hands-on owner, but, I guess I do need to be an owner sometimes, right? I do need a vacation sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you do have time off, what do you do? How do you like to enjoy our Arizona?
I use, if I have time off, I do like me a good bar stool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Where? Tell me where. Who do you like to?
Anywhere but my restaurant. So I can, only because I cannot relax. I cannot relax.
No.
I love me a good dive bar.
Yeah.
And I love me a fancy bar.
Yeah.
I love going to Houston's. But I love going to Global. I mean, I just like going everywhere, and a good dilly dally and little dive bar. I like it all. I mean, I am from Yuma. We are known for dive bars in Yuma.
What is that one called? Oh, it's like a man's name.
Jimmy D's.
That's Jimmy D's.
Jimmy D's.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be Velcroed to a bar stool there. What was Velcroed? Yep.
Oh, my God, Jimmy D's. I mean, I feel like we can't talk about Yuma without mentioning Mr. G's and the chili pepper.
Yep.
Did you grow up on that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I lived right around the block, around the corner from Chili Pepper, so I could walk there. And then, like I said, back in the 80s, when we had an open campus, you could just leave for lunch. We always go to Chili Pepper for lunch, and we actually would go back to school sometimes.
Yeah.
Occasionally. But yeah, so I've seen the Chili Peppers grow from just little, this size, this space, to I haven't been home in a minute. And when I do go home, I don't go past the foothills because that's where my mom lives. So I know they're building more. So I gotta get bigger.
Yeah.
Getting bigger ones.
Yeah.
It's like I have got to go. But when my mom does come visit, she comes visit me more than I go home to Yuma just because of the restaurants.
Right.
She brings me some.
Is she so excited and proud of you?
She is. She cries all the time. I'm like, Mom, relax. Yeah. But it's just because of her.
Yeah. And you mentioned your daughters. They're doing so well too.
Yep. I have an older one. She's a school teacher in Maricopa. She lives in Maricopa. My granddaughter, her just graduated from high school. She's starting GCU as a nursing student.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My grandson, he's a freshman in high school. But yeah, so like I said, my oldest daughter, her husband, and 2 kids are in Maricopa. My youngest is in LA. And one day she'll bring me grandkids, hopefully soon.
And they'll be raised on, what is that pork dish again? Tell me the name of that.
Green chili pork.
On the green chili pork. Oh, my God. Sandra, thank you so much for being with us today. Congratulations on everything that you're doing and will continue to do. And November 1, I'm going to put it on my calendar to check on what's going on, get my rezo at Salt and Lime so I go meet the Grinch, Mitch,
right?
the Grinch.
Yeah.
I'll surprise him.
I always wear Grinch clothes through the entire Christmas season, though. I'm always dressed as Grinch t-shirts.
You
whatever.
are?
Yeah, because I'm the Grinch with the lime green Jeep.
Oh, hilarious.
So,
Sandra, thank
you so much
Salt
for having
me. Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.